Organised by Monaghan Republican I'd like to ask Martin Duffy to lay a raise on behalf of the Republican movement.
I just want you to listen to this.
Salute to Fergal O'Hanlon, composed by two fine Casablanca men, Tommy Toll and Mickey Lehman. It was on a cold and stormy night, the new year just came in, when a group of freedom fighters set out via Terry Lane.
Their mission was a dangerous one with a need for courageous men. A date with British Tommies to blast them from their den. Now among them was a brave young lad, O'Hanlon was his name, as brave as any Irish man who ever rose to fame. We pray each night, dear Fergal, that you did not die in vain. Though Ireland had a heavy loss, sure heaven had the gain. You were courteous on the football field, a credit to your land, a symbol to all Gaelic games in which you had a hand. We pray for your dear mother. You were torn from her heart. But to everyone, God's will be done, and at death we all must part. In that glorious encounter was another lad, Sean South. He came all the way from Limerick to root the enemy out. He gave up home and comfort. To the north he led the way, but a bullet pierced his Irish heart. Now he sleeps beneath the clay. If only we had the courage to die so gallantly, then we would take up arms and fight so that Ireland might be free. We drink a toast to both you boys and raise our glasses high. Some day we may meet in heaven, in that land beyond the sky. We will not forget you, Fergal, in the years that lie ahead. You have filled a place of honour among the graves of Ireland's dead. May God reward you, laddies, that reward which you have won. May you rest in peace forever. Your work on earth is done. So fill up your glasses. We'll drink a toast and then to these gallant fighting heroes who proved themselves such men. May the names of South and O'Hanlon go down in history. They died as men of honour to set old Ireland free.
And I'd like to call on Martin Duffy, the chair of these proceedings.
Accordia, friends, Republicans, it's a great honour for me to be asked here today to chair this commemoration with Fergal O'Hanlon. The first order of ceremony will be the laying of the wreaths. The first wreath will be laid on behalf of the leadership of the Republican movement by John Conley. The second wreath will be laid on behalf of the leadership of Republican Sinn Féin by Jimmy Joe Graham. The third wreath will be laid on behalf of Cavan, Republican Sinn Féin by Mary Fox. The third wreath will be laid on behalf of Republican Sinn Féin Monaghan by Barry Cunningham. The next wreath will be laid on the grave of ex-Republican Army volunteer Jim Lehman by his granddaughter Abby. end of the ceremony there will also be a wreath laid at the grave of Sean Muir over in the other part of the cemetery, and we'll speak a wee bit about that later on. The piper shown to play a lament, the dipping of the flags. Right, right. We will now ask Emilio Raglan, a member of Sinn Féin Arcolia, to recite a poem.
Fergal O'Hanlon. Oh, hark to the tale of young Fergal O'Hanlon, who died in Brookbar to make Ireland free. For his heart he had pledged to the cause of his country, and he took to the hills like a bold rapparee. And he feared not to walk to the walls of the barracks. A volley of dead poured from window to door. Alas for young Fergal, his lifeblood for freedom, oh Brookbar pavements profuse to pour. When the smoke and the dim from the battle was over, and Fergal was borne by his comrades away, he asked to fly to that place and take cover, but he died in the hands of the foe that day. God, strike from your hands all your hirelings and traitors, the weapon that murdered our brave volunteer. God, grant us our freedom, the dreams of O'Hanlon, and lift from our valleys all sorrow and fear.
We'll now ask John Joe McCusker to give the main oration. John Joe McCusker is a fine Republican from Monaghan and a fine servant of the Republican movement.
Language on Shaw and you, Aganui, Oglach, Fergal O'Hanlon. Cheshire Blaine is shocked to hen, Fergal, August, a comrade, Ugly, Sean South, as Garryown, a County Limney. Hitshade, ag Hug, a Keela, a son Shearsha, na Hern, Straj, Ballybrook, a County Fermanagh. Hubnimage, Lebrode, Nad Harney, a Canu, the Patriot game, no Sean South from Garryown, in Aroge. Screamshade, Queen, Extract, a Harleyan, Araniha Shin, Fado Fado. Nile Nahru O'Hin, August Nassasini, in a Sealrod pose. Fergal O'Hanlon and Sean South were members of the Irish Republican Army unit who on the evening of the 1st of January 1957 took part in an attack on Brookbar Barracks, the RUC barrack in Brookbar, County Fermanagh. That evening they had prepared 2 mines and were equipped with hand grenades, Bren guns and small arms. A lorry had been taken which belonged to local quarry owner Pete Clark and Sons, Slush Hill, Lisnaskey. Their attack was to falter, however, due to the fact that 2 mines failed to explode. While withdrawn wounded, Fergal O'Hanlon was, as it transpired, fatally wounded. Sean South, who was operating a Bren gun on the lorry, ran out of ammunition, and with this weapon silenced, he then took fire from the upper windows of the barrack and was badly wounded. The retreat was not to plan, and the 2 were brought by their comrades into what was known locally as Keenan's Barn. Sean Garland at the time wanted to stay and give cover fire, which would afford time for the unit to bring the other wounded to safety. This plan was not proceeded with, and the volunteers abandoned the lorry and took to the fields, eventually crossing the border as it was breaking daylight. They went to ground in a friendly house around about Knockatallon. They gave themselves up to obtain medical attention for the wounded men. The Brookbar raid and the death of these 2 volunteers would inspire a whole generation of freedom fighters. 10 years later, the marching of Patriot men and women would be on the streets seeking civil rights. While rioting, bombing and shooting had become a constant in the 6 northeastern counties. It was the shooting dead of 14 civil rights marchers on the 30th of January 1972, which was the major catalyst, giving the impetus to what is referred to as the Troubles. Commemoration. Following on from the end game and the battering of flesh and blood and the stalling of Ireland's right to be free for a seat in Stormont Castle, and the certain knowledge that another generation would be visited by the same unending sectarian strife. Every green, wet hill, every grey street where the volunteers fell, echo the wrongs they have done. Every river and stream whisper the word we dare not say, betrayal. They have bent our history to England's bidding, struck by the guile of the Englishman, in awe of his graces, harnessed by their mighty will, these lion-hearted men meekly accepting the correctness of England's imperial right to rule our country. This is where we are now. England rules, and according to Jerry Adams, Mary Lou MacDonald, Bertie Ahern and Micheál Martin, they have a right to do so. Therefore my conclusion is that they have sealed the certainty of more bitter sectarian conflict in our country. This was not what Fergal O'Hanlon died for. No IRA volunteer ever died for the continuance of English rule. Not Bobby Sands or Patsy O'Hara and their comrades on painful hunger strike in Long Kesh. Not Monaghan's Seamus McElwain in a field near Rosclay, nor Jim Lena, nor Patrick McKierney and their comrades outside a Lochgall IUC barrack. In just a short period now, our country shall see a number of elections to the partitionist parliaments here in Ireland and to the English Imperial Parliament. It does seem unlikely that the DUP shall enter into any sort of government structure this side of these elections. It does not seem, however, that the English will introduce some form of refitting, resetting or rejigging to secure their stranglehold politically and economically. Over Ireland. Partition is a leaking valve in the Irish economy. It is without doubt a certainty that an Irish nation state would have a much more robust presence in the affairs of the modern world were we united Irish citizens, Protestant, Catholic and Dissenter, speaking to the benefit of the Irish people and for the rights of oppressed peoples across the world. And I have here in mind Gaza as it happens at this time, still suffering from the consequences of colonialism. We should be promoting our own leanings and deliberations. What our own leanings would be towards our natural allies in any given situation are just exactly that, our own leanings. RSF remains, and the Republican movement remains, the continuity Republican movement aligned with the proclamation of a 32-county All-Ireland Republic and the first Dáil. No proclamation of an English Parliament or subservient Dublin administration will be allowed for long by the Irish people to promote anew, afresh, 26-county Ireland as the final bounds of our ancient nation, allowing a separate entity, our 6 counties, to exist in perpetuity, gifted to the subjugation and perfidy of the imperial English authority. That such a past has been allowed to flourish is but a testament still to the bullying, undemocratic and coercive control pressed upon the Irish people and accepted and presented by self-serving and backstabbing politicians as a good deal. Some of our historic heroes penned the phrase, "Damn your concessions, England, we want our country." As we move forward, our position has not changed, and no pulling at the heartstrings of our nation, no refitting, resetting or rejigging shall unnerve or deflect the Irish Republican movement in their march to the 32-county All-Ireland Republic. And public taboo.
Come all you young rebels, and this will I say, for the love of one's country is a terrible thing. It banishes fear with the speed of the flame. It makes us all part of the Patriot game. My name is O'Hanlon, and I just turned 16. My home is in Monaghan, where I was weak. I learned all my life cruel England to play, and makes us all part of the Patriot game. They told me how Connolly was shot in a chair. His wounds from the battle are bleeding and bare. His fine body twisted, tortured and laid, has soon made me part of the Patriot game. It's 32 years since I wandered away with a local battalion of the Fergal IRA. So I gave up my boyhood to drill and to trade, and I played my own part in the Patriot game. This island of ours has for long been a free. 6 counties are under John Bull's tyranny, and most of our leaders are greatly to blame for failing their part in the Patriot game. And now as I lie here, my body I'll hold, I think of those traders who bargain and sold, and I wish that my rifle had given the same. Those prislings who sold out the Patriot game. So come all you young rebels and listen what I say. For the love of one's country is a terrible thing. It banishes fear with the speed of a flame, and it makes us all part of the Patriot game. And it makes us all part of the Patriot game. And it makes us all part of the Patriot game.
Just a few words of thanks here before we finish. First of all, we'd like to thank the James Connolly Common here in Monaghan for organising this great commemoration. Not only did they organise this commemoration, they cleaned all these headstones, they put flags up all around the town. They also went out this morning and laid a wreath at the grave of John Francis Green, who was murdered by British forces in the early 70s. We'd also thank the Kevin Lynch Band from Dungiven for turning up here today. Your attendance is greatly appreciated. Thanks very much. Give them a round of applause, please. At the end of this commemoration, we'll ask you all to follow us up to the graveside of Sean Muir, where we'll lay a wreath at his grave. And then we'll form up at the bottom of the road, march back to Cathedral, where we'll play our national anthem, and that will be the end of the commemoration. Today marks 100 days from the Israeli government entered Palestine and started murdering the Palestinian people and the people of Gaza. There is no difference between what happened to the Jewish people in the Second World War from Hitler than the Israeli government is doing to the people of Palestine and Gaza now. It was genocide in the Second World War, and it is genocide now. Republican Sinn Féin sends a firm and clear message. We stand with the people of Gaza, and we call on a ceasefire right now. I am heartened here today to see so many young people. We are the true Republican movement. As Liam Mallow said, Poe knew he was fighting a losing battle, and Pearse knew it too. But they fought because they believed in a new generation. In the name of Tone, in the name of Pearse, in the name of Ireland, fight on. And a public debut. Long live the Irish Republic. Folks, we're gathered here at the graveside of volunteer Sean Muir. We'll ask Darren McKenna to lay a wreath on behalf of the Republican movement. Sean the Piper to play a lament and the dipping their flags. Sean Muir was born in Guildford, County Down. He joined the Republican movement in the outbreak of the conflict in the late 60s. He was one of the first to be interned, and he ended up in the prison ship, the Maidstone. After his release, he relocated his family here to Monaghan, and he remained a volunteer in the Irish Republican Army. Along with his wife Nuala we see here today, they travelled the length and breadth of Ireland, committed to the Republican cause. It's great to see so many people here today paying a full tribute to Sean Muir. And Sean was very most upfront with the Republican movement, and he wanted the young people to take a step forward as we are today. We can see so many young people here, it's great to see. In the words of Mary Drum, we must take no steps backwards, all our steps must be onwards. For if we don't, the memory of the men and women that died for you, for me, will haunt us for all eternity. Thank you very much.